Okay. Well, hello and good evening. I call this public meeting of the North Clackamas School District Board of Directors to order on Thursday, June 26th at 6:30 p.m. And I would like to remind our community that the purpose of our board meetings is to conduct the business of the district first and for everyone to learn about the district in a safe and productive manner. And this evening, there are no community members who are signed up to provide comments tonight. So we will go ahead and jump to our native land acknowledgement. And Vice Chair Benaloga will lead the acknowledgement.
We acknowledge the land on which we sit and which we call the North Clackamas School District rests on the traditional and indigenous lands and village sites of the native peoples of the Kalapuya, Chinook, Molalla, and the Clackamas. We take this opportunity to offer gratitude for the ability to learn, work, and be a community on this land, and we offer thanks to the original caretakers of this region. We recognize the historic policies of colonization, genocide, relocation, and assimilation that affected indigenous and native families, both past and present, and that will affect those in the future. And we honor the resilience and revitalization of our indigenous and native communities. We pay our respects to the elders, both past and present, who have been the stewards of this land throughout the generations.
Thank you so much, Vice Chair. And now we will have Director McVeigh, who will lead the Pledge of Allegiance tonight.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Director McVeigh. And now we will jump to our minutes for June. So in the board packet, you will find the minutes of the June 5th, 2025 meeting of the North Clackamas School Board. Is there a motion to approve the minutes?
Chair, I move board approval of the board meeting minutes from June 5th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved by Director Benaloga and seconded by Director McVeigh. Is there a discussion? Okay, seeing none, I call for a vote on the motion. And Director Kemp is online. So all those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those that oppose, please say no. And the motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Next on our agenda in the board packet, you will find the consent agenda for tonight's meeting. And the items contained in the consent agenda are employment changes, 2022-2026 alternative placements, policy revisions, travel requests for Adrian C. Nelson High School cheer, travel requests for Milwaukee High School dance team, travel requests for Milwaukee High School cheer, travel request for Adrian C. Nelson High School dance team, travel request for Adrian C. Nelson High School cross country, and travel requests for the Rex Putnam High School cheer. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? And please read all of the items included.
So I can make the motion, but it's 2025, 26. Is that right? Okay. All right. Chair, I approve.
Thank you. Thank you for
I
that.
approve board approval of the consent agenda of employment changes, 2025, 2026 alternative placements, policy revisions, travel request Adrian C. Nelson High School cheer, travel request Milwaukee High School dance team, travel request Milwaukee High School cheer, travel request Adrian C. Nelson High School dance team, travel request Adrian C. Nelson High School cross country, and travel request Rex Putnam High School cheer.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. And any discussion? It's been properly moved by Director Benaloga and seconded by Director McVeigh. And I call now for a vote on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those who oppose, please say no. And the motion passes with a vote of 4-0. All right, we are breezing along. So now I will turn it over to Superintendent Shay James.
Yes, I would like to take a moment to do board recognition as we round out the year. And so just want to start by extending a collective thank you to our board of directors for your service on the NCSD school board as we conclude this school year. And on behalf of our entire team, I want to extend a heartfelt thank you for your invaluable time, your tireless advocacy on behalf of our students, our families, and our community. We know you are all juggling a great deal, and we sincerely appreciate how you consistently advocate in many ways that ultimately benefit our students and our staff. Thank you for showing up day after day, visiting our schools, attending events, reviewing data, speaking with students, and just advocating. And beyond that, like you are looking at packets, you're reading emails, you're taking phone calls, and so many other things that I just haven't even listed here. Thank you for being there, and thank you for always taking Donna and I's phone calls, even when we know that you might not want to, or you're super busy, or it's an inconvenient time. Your dedication is truly remarkable, and we are deeply grateful for your commitment for staying with us through challenging times, and challenging and the triumphs, but particularly through the challenging times. I want to take a second to talk a little bit to our vice chair. I want to say, Director Benaloga, your dedication as a vice chair this past school year has been a gift. You consistently exemplify grace in your service, always putting our students and community at the forefront of every decision. Your commitment to transparency, ensuring our community understands the why behind our operations, is invaluable. It's an honor to learn alongside of you, especially in witnessing your tireless presence at countless events, which mirrors the which mirrors the commitment of our staff. You are everything that we are at. Beyond your official duties, your reach extends far and wide. You've been a steadfast advocate for our students and our staff and community for many years, even before joining the board. We are incredibly grateful for your unwavering presence, your insightful engagement, and your thoroughness in all matters, always rooted in what's best for our students. Thank you for serving as vice chair this past year. We also want to acknowledge the immense amount of work that goes unseen. Thank you for caring so deeply for our students and for us as a team and for our entire community. Your dedication truly makes a difference. And Director Way, serving as our chair this year, we are honored and grateful for the responsibility and the dedication you've taken on with this role. Thank you for taking that on. It's not easy. And while many may not see the additional meetings, the phone calls that you've taken on in this role, and the prep work to navigate the complexities, you handle it with ease as a skillful leader. We recognize the significant time commitment involved, especially as a volunteer position. Your unwavering focus on students, families, equitable outcomes continually push us to be better, and I truly mean that, so thank you. You seem to know the right things to say when tensions are high, and you ask the right questions to drive improvement in our system. Your advocacy at the state level for our students, community, and education is heroic. We are incredibly fortunate to have had your leadership both now and before your time on the board, as your journey with education began long before. And I was just incredibly fortunate to begin with you back when I was at Franklin and you were working with students at Franklin, and you've had a hand with students for so many years. As you transition from the board, we will undoubtedly feel the loss of your wisdom, your passion for student engagement, and your equity-minded approach, your kindness, and your unwavering focus. However, we are immensely grateful that you will continue to fight the good fight in the community for all of the students and for us. Your impact will resonate for years to come, and we sincerely thank you. Kathy, your quiet but mighty strength will be missed, so I just want to say thank you. Donna has tokens of appreciation for all of you as the board, and then for you two as board vice chair and chair. And for those that are not here, we'll make sure that we get gifts. So it's hard to say goodbye to you, but we know that you will still be around. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And Tori will still be here too.
We are grateful
For
that,
Tori's dedication. Thank you so
Yes,
much,
thank you.
Superintendent.
thank you.
Well, it's hard to follow that, and so I am really just gonna speak from my heart when I say it's just been an honor to be a part of this board and to be in this room and have a seat like this in the table. So thank you. Ooh, okay. So good transition because I need a minute. So we are going to do board reports next, and so this is an opportunity for each member of our board to share their activities as well as their just things that they're doing each month in the district. So I will have Director Benaloga go first.
All right, thank you, Chair Wei. This morning, I attended an early literacy webinar put on by Stand for Children. It was nice that North Clackamas was highlighted in their presentation about our literacy coaches, and it's just wonderful to hear what schools are doing and what districts are doing to really increase the literacy of especially our K-5. So it was just wonderful to hear that. And then I think for most of us, this was graduation season and we have a lot of them, I think 9 total. I went to as many as I possibly could. And I just want to say that every one of our graduations has its own personality. And I love that. It's you get such a different feeling at each one of them, and the connection to the staff from CWA handing out. They give roses to their students, and the student goes up to the person. They give them time to go up to one of the people that meant the most to them during their high school journey. To Milwaukee, doing Mustang born, Mustang bred out in the hallway before the graduates come in. It's just amazing the personalities and the spirit that our schools have. It's a privilege to go and watch these kids walk across the stage, and some of them just in pure joy, some of them a little scared and not sure what they're going to do next. And some of them just so excited and ready for what's next. And I want to mention one more thing that I love graduations, and I've been hosting exchange students for 20 years. So I've been to a lot. And the speeches from our students this year were very different. You would not have heard this 10, 20 years ago. They talked about connecting. They talked about being grateful. They talked about building relationships. They talked about trust and respect. And I was so impressed with those kids that that's what they chose to take their 5-minute speech time and really thank everyone, show gratefulness, talk about connection, talk about taking care of themselves, doing what you love, find your passion. It was really inspiring. So if you don't have anything to do next June, I highly recommend going to some high school graduations because they're wonderful. So I'm so glad to get to go and to attend and to represent this board. And I'm very grateful that I was able to go. Thank you, Chair Wei.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair Benaloga. And now I'm going to ask for Director McVeigh's report.
I just echo the graduations were amazing. So love them. Oh yeah, the lights on the stage were really cool. Whoever, on the black curtain. So each school had their colors in the background. That was very, it's very cool. Yeah.
Thank you. And Director Kemp?
Unfortunately, I've been working out of state so much. I did attend the early literacy presentation this morning. So that was interesting and good to see that Clackamas has such a large number of coaches for our staff. That was good to see. That's all I have.
Thank you. And for my report, I'll extend it a little bit since it's my last board meeting, but I had the pleasure and the honor of attending Clackamas High School's graduation. And, I remember, my siblings went there, so they, so familiar with Clackamas, but about 10-ish years ago, this was like probably a decade now, but I remember working for a community organization, and we were really focused on civic engagement and trying to get more young people involved in our democratic process and getting them to, be activated and engaged. And so we got connected with Clackamas High School and ended up during lunchtime doing voter registration there. And it was nonpartisan, and it was like, just, hey, just register to vote. We're not, telling you who to vote for or anything like that. And I just remembered just collaborating with the high school and the kids. Well, some of the kids thought I was a student, so I was like, no, I'm not a student here. But I just remember that a lot of the conversations that we had were just about the youth feeling like they feel like they were making their voice heard. Like they feel like, wow, like I think my voice does matter in this process. And so I remember that story, and I remember other stories of just my own journey and the why, all the whys, and all the reasons why I decided to be on the school board. And one of the reasons of my why, which Superintendent James, you sort of alluded to a little bit earlier, was how we met for the first time. But I was working with refugee students in Portland specifically. And I remember having a client who just was struggling, new to the country, had different challenges, and she didn't know where to go for support or for help. And so, I said, okay, we need to talk to the school about this because this is, we need to make sure that they understand kind of just everything you're going through, right? And sort of what you're carrying as a young woman, just being so new here. And I remember reaching out to Franklin High School and before she was Superintendent James, I believe vice principal maybe at the time, was there, and Shay just was so compassionate. And I don't think you had to like spend that much time to just like figure out all of the things and to provide the support that she needed, because to be honest, there were other staff, there were other people that could have probably stepped in that role, but you were there. And I remember you listened and you said, we're going to do something about this. And I think you really, in that moment, really made that young woman feel seen. And so I think, sort of my closing words is I just hope that as a district, we continue to make sure that all of our children continue to be seen and heard, and that, their stories are important, their voices matter, and that they can truly make a difference whatever they decide to do in life. So I just thank you, Shay, that somehow the universe brought us together again. And I am really grateful for the 8 years that I've been on this board. It was different when I started the board. And we went through a pandemic. We went through high school and middle school naming, and we went through various elections that were also interesting and spurred lots of conversations in our community. And in spite of all of that, we continued to be resilient. And so I just look around the room and I just am so grateful to have the opportunity to be here, to make somewhat of a difference. The work continues. And I also want to say to my vice chair that I first met her when she was just an advocate. And it was funny, like the first time that I met Gina, she was like, I'm a Milwaukee mom, and just had like this and then I quickly found out what a Milwaukee mom was. because we were like talking about something, and she was like, well, I'm a Milwaukee mom. and and it was like, of course, it was about PCLA. And it was like Gina and Mitzi and Vivian Scott, and I kind of went to like my first PCLA event, and then the rest is history because Gina's just amazing and is such an advocate. And then Tori, I met you when I was running that first time, and was always just really appreciated your perspective. And there were times where we agreed, and there were times where we didn't. And I always really respected what you brought to this work and to this board and district. And I'm so excited that you are going to continue because you're going to have newer board members who, sometimes we might need to remind them of things and keep things in order. But I just really, really appreciate, again, your leadership and your service to the district. And with that said, again, just thank you so much. And I know Paul is listening in, but Paul, thank you again so much also for stepping in to this volunteer role and giving your time and effort and energy. So thank you again all so much.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So we are going to move on to our next agenda item, which is the 2025-2026 organizational resolution for the required designations, authorizations, and appropriations. I'm sorry, and appointments, not appropriations. And this is an action item. And so I welcome our Executive Director of Finance and Business Services, Matt McCara. Welcome.
Thank you, Chair. And before I get started, I'd also like to express my thanks and appreciation to the Chair for your service to the district. Thank you. Tonight, I'm bringing forward an annual item for action to set the required designations and authorizations and appointments for the 2025-26 school year. There have been no changes made to any of those since this was last revised in January. And I would be happy to answer any questions about this item, should there be any.
Okay, thank you. That was quick. Board members, do we have questions or comments?
Chair, recommend approval of the designations, authorizations, and appointments as identified in items A through I on the attached organizational resolution for the required designations, authorizations, and appointments for fiscal year 25-26.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Benaloga, second.
It's been properly moved by Director McVeigh and seconded by Director Benaloga. Is there discussion? Okay, and I call for a vote now on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those that oppose, please say no. Okay, and the motion passes with a vote of 4-0. And next on our agenda is the supplemental budget and transferring appropriations for fiscal year 2024-2025. And I again welcome Executive Director of Finance and Business Services, Matt McCara.
Thank you, Chair. Tonight, I'm bringing forward an action item in the form of a supplemental budget and appropriations transfer for the current year, 2024-25. Oregon local budget law establishes a process for making revisions to the budget in the current year, and this supplemental budget and appropriations transfer are a part of that process to account for unforeseen events or changes as they may occur during the year. Tonight, I'm bringing forward changes to 4 funds. The first is changes to the general fund, increasing appropriations for support services, primarily as a result of additional deferred maintenance work done on district facilities. There's also an increase to transfers out. One of the transfers is going to our special revenue fund to help build additional PERS reserve. And another part of that transfer is going to our capital projects fund to support the purchase of the Wichita Center and also support improvements to that facility. The second fund with changes is the special revenue fund, which brings in that transfer and then puts that towards contingency in that fund. The third fund impacted is the capital projects fund, brings in that transfer revenue and also has an offsetting increase in there for the acquisition and construction expense. The last fund with a change is for our internal service fund, and the change there on the revenue side is recognizing additional beginning fund balance to more closely reflect the actuals, and then on the expense side, adding additional appropriations for additional benefit claim expenses. I would be happy to answer any questions, should there be any.
Thank you. That was very thorough. So really appreciate that. I know that we have additional information in our board packets as well. Do we have any questions for Matt? Okay.
Chair, I recommend approval of resolution for the supplemental budget and appropriations transfer as presented below to meet budgeting requirements.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Benaloga, second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved by Director McVeigh and seconded by Director Benaloga. Is there a discussion? Okay, seeing none, I call for a vote on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those that oppose, please say no. And the motion passes with a vote of 4-0. Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our last agenda item is a complaint action. So the board received a complaint against the board under policy KL-AR. Do I have a motion regarding this complaint?
Chair Way, I move that the board take no further action because the complaint restates concerns that have been raised previously and because the board followed its process in responding to the prior complaint against an employee. I further move to delegate to the chair the authority to respond to the complainant.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been properly moved by Director Benaloga and seconded by Director McVeigh. Is there a discussion? Okay, I call for a vote on the motion. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those that oppose, please say no. And the motion passes with a vote of 4-0. And a written decision reflecting this vote will be shared with the complainant. So as of this time, board, our business has concluded. We're a little bit under time. So I don't want to hold up your evening, but again, I just want to say thank you again so much for the ending of a school year, for just everyone's hard work, getting us to where we need to be towards the end of June. And I'm excited to see what the next chapter unfolds for our district. And thank you again so much. Let's remember to take care of each other. And at the end of the day, remember why we're doing this. And it's for our kids. It's for all of our students.
And Chair Way, we celebrated you and Director Bauer at the last meeting, but we can't end this term and this school board meeting without, again, just thanking you for your leadership, for always putting the students first, for always reminding us to come around, always remember to do that full circle and remember whose voices we need to hear, whose voices are at the table, but who's missing. And your guidance and your leadership over the years and this year has been inspiring, and we appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, thank you again all so much. It is exactly 7 p.m. I promise I didn't time that. Perfect. And this public meeting of the North Clackamas School District Board of Directors is adjourned.